Hello everybody, Merry Christmas Eve, and also welcome back to the stream. So today we're going to be continuing on with some of the alchemy work that we started yesterday, and I'll explain all the stuff that's going on. Yeah, I think mostly today is just going to be more experimentation with that alchemy system, doing a bunch of testing, making sure that it works, and all that good stuff. So we'll see how it's going. But before I get into it, I want to remind everyone that Alchemortis is available for wishlisting on Steam. So if you would go ahead and do that, go ahead and wishlist it, I would appreciate it. And I also have the Patreon. If you join the Patreon at this top tier here, this is like a pre-purchase of the game, so I will send you an Alchemortis Steam key when the game launches, and also your name will be listed in the in-game credits. So definitely consider that. That helps me out a lot. And I also have my Udemy courses available for sale. These will teach you how to build complete games in the Godot engine, and it's also a great way to support me. So check those things out. They're linked in the description below. You could also see the Discord server linked below. So feel free to join that, and you could share your own game projects in there, chat about whatever, just generally hang out. But yeah. Anyway, hello, A the Ant. Welcome back. Good to see you. Hi, everyone, and Merry Christmas for tomorrow. Hello, Clickertail. Welcome back. QWERTY. Hello, V. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Hello, T8I. That's the only part of your name that I can read. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. Yesterday, I made a change to the alchemy system, which makes it so that when you do an alchemy, it will either add or remove one ability from the card. All the abilities will be randomized, but in terms of the number of abilities that it has, it will be increased or decremented by one when you do an alchemy. And so that works good. But there's a couple, I'm going to have to do some testing because there's a bunch of reagents and stuff that are supposed to work with this. And also there's an issue with the gold transmutation. And there's also an issue with the text that shows how many negative abilities there will be. So I think there's a couple of things to think about here, but yeah, we will figure that out. So there is a problem in here with one of the reagents. Yeah, I'm going to need to rework some of this stuff. I am going to need to rework some of this stuff, I think. Okay, well, I'll just do one thing at a time. So I'm just going to put a to-do note up here. To-do ability preservation doesn't count properly towards negative abilities. Okay. All right, where to start here? Where to start? So there is... I'm almost wondering if I should take a totally different approach to this now. I don't know. Maybe a lot of this is salvageable. I'm not sure. Get negative ability range. This one is going to have to change. This one is going to have to change. Okay. Anyway, what are we making? We are working on the alchemy system yet again. Imagine that. Alchemortis, a game about alchemy. And we are once again working on the alchemy system. The reason I'm spending so much time on the alchemy system is because it's sort of like the main hook of the game, and it's going to be the main marketing hook of the game as well. So I just need to make sure that it feels really, really, really good to use. Excuse me. So we're going to be spending a lot of time on the alchemy system, making sure that that feels very, very good. Tatey, I'm making lunch. Awesome. What are you having? You're making Freddy Fazbear. Oh, light tiramisu. Very nice. Should be showing my name properly now. I've been here before. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, so let's fix this get negative ability range. This needs to change. Our min ability count would be... This would be max ability... Nope, this is not right. Okay. Excuse me, hold on a second. I've been eating frogs again, I suppose. Anyway, max ability count is equal to input cards. Do I want to do non-reagent input cards dot max card dot get base composed abilities dot count. X is alchemizable and X, not X, is negative ability. So that's our max ability count, and we're going to put +1 there. And then our var min ability count is equal to that -1. But this has to be clamped, so mathf dot max of 1. And that. Okay, so we've got the min and max ability count. Actually, I think that should work now. I think that should work. Okay, so let's see if that is correct. Firebelly is French, confirmed. Yes, I am. You can tell by my beautiful French language. Sequence contains no elements. Okay. Non-reagent input cards dot count greater than 0 or equals 0. Okay. Fix that little error there. Alrighty, let's see if this works. So, if I put the maggot there, cards will have 0 to 2 negative abilities. That is not correct. Oh, maybe it is correct. Yeah, it is correct. Okay. Isn't that correct? Yeah, I guess that is correct. Okay. So if I put all those things in there, we should not see any more than 2 negative abilities. Well, I think that did work. But yeah, that should be correct now. I think that's in line with what's going on here. Cards will have 0 to 1 negative ability. Okay, very cool. Now, where else is this used? Get negative ability data. Okay. So, yeah, I think that's good. So we need to fix the ability preservation now. So I have reagents in the game that will preserve ability types. The problem is that this does not count toward the ability count. So I need to do that. So there's these preserved abilities here. Positive abilities to add. Okay. All abilities to randomize.org. Okay. So I need to figure this out. Take abilities to take. All abilities to randomize.count. I need to figure out legendary as well. So let me to do. Figure out what to do about legendary cards. All right. Let's fix this ability preservation first. So we've got abilities to take. And we've got preserved abilities. So this abilities to take here, we're actually going to... Oh, there's a problem with the legendary as well. Okay, we'll figure out the legendary in a second. If not is legendary, abilities to take equals math f dot max of 0. Abilities to take minus preserved abilities dot count. So we want the preserved abilities to count toward the number of abilities that we're taking. And so that should work. So we're going to modify that. Preserved abilities dot count. Abilities taken, negative abilities to add. See, this is wrong here. This needs to be preserved abilities dot count plus positive abilities to add. Okay, I think that will work. Is that palindrome backwards? A the ant. Anyway, so positive abilities to add, preserved abilities. Cool. So let me just see if this works. What am I going to do? So I want... Let's just do this. Let's do dragon scales. Actually, is that right? Nope, that's not right. I forgot what the one that preserves fire is. Do I have one of those? Newt tail. That's the one, newt tail. Newt tail. Copy this a couple times. Oops. And then we'll do some candles. Okay. Let's see if that works. Yes, and it's an English word. That's true. That is true. Okay, so this should work. So what I'm expecting to see is if I put candle in there, let's do a newt tail, and then a bunch of candles. So this text is wrong now. All fire abilities of adjacent cards are guaranteed in alchemy outputs. So that should put 4 fire abilities on each candle that comes out. And that, yeah, so that worked. And it applied, or it did 3 negative abilities. So that's working just fine. But we need to update that text now. So we need to update that text. Oh, goodness. I'll stage that because that's working. Let's update the text here. So we do have the preserved abilities in here, I think. Yeah. So now I need to figure out how to make this work. Max ability count. Min ability count and max ability count. Do I just add the preserved abilities to this? Do I do var max ability count plus equals preserved abilities dot count, min ability count plus equals, oh no, not var. I think I just add the preserved abilities count to that. Let's see if that works. I like how using the newt tail made the alchemy board look more like a recipe than randomly throwing stuff in. Yeah. Yeah, the reagents are designed to be, or supposed to be, more like recipes for sure. So if we put the newt tail there, cards will have 0 to 1 negative ability, 1 to 2 negative abilities. Is that right? 2 to 3, 3 to 4. I actually don't think that's right. I think it's always going to have 3. Yeah, why is it saying 3 to 4? Min ability count, max ability count. Maybe what I need to do here is if I... maybe it's... if max ability count plus preserved ability count is greater than... No, that's not right. If preserved abilities dot count is greater than max ability count, then what we need to do is we need to do max ability count is equal to preserved abilities count. Is that right? I actually don't know how to do this logic here. So the situation is that... So the alchemy can randomly add or remove one ability from the card, but the newt tail guarantees that abilities will be converted over into the outputs. And so if the guaranteed abilities exceed the sort of new maximum ability count, then that needs to be accounted for. I have no idea. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. Are we adding anything jolly into the game or only horrid and evil? Mostly just horrid and evil. Although the snail cat, depending on who you ask, might be a little bit jolly. Hello, Artem. Welcome. What font do you use for VS Code? It's called Cascadia Code. It's Microsoft's font. Cascadia Code. Yeah, see, this is saying 2 to 1 negative abilities, 3 to 2 negative abilities. Is Waterbelly still in the game? Yes, indeed. Hello, Defected. Good morning and Merry Christmas Eve. Has anyone else experienced subscriber-only mode for chat, even if you're subscribed? It's done that to me a few times now. Managed to make it work, though. Yeah, I've heard people have said that. I wonder if maybe it's just a YouTube bug. You know, YouTube. Yeah, that's not working either. I don't know how to get this to work. I don't know how to get this to work. You're welcome, Artem. I see Waterbelly on the map. Yeah, Waterbelly's here. See? Waterbelly is there. Zero to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. Yeah, see, that 3 to 4 is wrong. Why is that? And the cat is making a bunch of noise in the other room. It's making it hard to think. It's always 3 in that case. Why? How does this logic work? So if I've got a... so in the case of 4 candles, the max ability count will be 2 and the min ability count will be 1. However... I think I need to do this. If... I do need to do some kind of check here. If max ability count... If preserved abilities dot count is greater than or equal to max ability count... If preserved abilities dot count is greater than min ability count, maybe that's what I do. So if the preserved abilities dot count is greater than either the max or min ability, we're just going to set that to the preserved ability count. I think that will work. I think that will work. Let's see. 0 to 1 negative ability, 1 to 2 negative abilities, 3 to 3. Is this right here? 1 to 2. 5 to 5. Oh goodness, that's not right. That's not right. 5 to 5. What the heck? Oh, I think I need to do else. I have no idea. I don't know why this logic is escaping me right now, but let's try it. Hello, Rookie Tookie. Welcome back. Thinking of a number between 5 and 5. Can you guess it? 5.5. Alrighty. 0 to 2 negative abilities. That's wrong. 1 to 1 negative ability. That's also wrong. Is that wrong? Yeah, that's wrong. 2 to 2. I'm off by 1. Why doesn't this work? I think it's 5, but I could be wrong. Why doesn't this work, everybody? I don't understand. 0 to 1 negative ability. This should actually have 0 to 0 negative abilities. Yeah, so why is it... So let's fix that case first. Max ability count. This needs to change as well. Our max ability count is equal to mathf.max or min of... Why is this so hard? Max ability count, all abilities to randomize.count. I think that will fix that issue. It's very important to get this tooltip right. Time to debug, yeah. Hello, Kipper Falcon. Quick question: how can I find inspiration to make games? I already finished a couple games, and I know enough from the engine to make a game, but I lack of ideas. Any advice? Yeah, I mean, the way that I usually decide what kind of game I want to make is I just play like smaller indie games or games. I mean, I could just play any game really. And usually what I'll do is I'll find a game that I really like the idea of, and then it will give me sort of like the inspiration to make a game like it. And then I figure out how to make my idea different than that. So for instance, I decided to make Alchemortis. I decided to make an auto battler game when I played the Bazaar. I was really intrigued by how the Bazaar works. It's like an auto battler game. Sort of like a simplified auto battler. But the thing that really stood out to me about the Bazaar is that, you know, not every interaction in the run or whatever is a combat interaction. There's shops and there's different upgrade events, and you could collect passives for your board and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, I really like this formula. But what I didn't like about the Bazaar, what I don't like about not a lot of auto battlers, but I don't like the PvP asynchronous auto battlers. And the reason is because you just end up running into a bunch of sweaty min-maxers who just like completely destroy you every time. And so I was like, well, this formula would be really good as a single player formula. So that's kind of where Alchemortis came from. But then I threw my own theme and idea on it, right? It's a single player roguelike. Instead, it's got the sort of dark fantasy, necromancer, alchemy themes. But the same is true of like Gunforged. Gunforged, I made that because I was like, well, I want to make a 2D twin stick shooter. And I really like the way that Noita works with the spell or the wand crafting system. And so I just kind of like, you know, borrow elements from other games and then kind of like recombine it into into my game idea. That's usually how I get my inspiration. I'll play a game and I'll be like, ooh, I want to make a game like this, and then I'll figure out how to make it different, how to make it stand out. I sent some beef with Teamfight Tactics. Yeah, I didn't like Teamfight Tactics for the same reason. A friend that texts you while they get high. Hello, Orange Genesis. Welcome back. Good to see you. This isn't working now. Okay. This isn't working now. Why is this not working now? I don't want to spend time on this anymore. I just don't know how to accurately get a count of like what the negative abilities are going to be. All right, well, I guess we'll throw a breakpoint in here. We'll just figure out what the heck is going on here. Actually, let's not do a breakpoint just yet. So if I do this and I do this, there should be no negative abilities. But as soon as I put the second one on, that's when I should get one negative ability. So let's do this. Okay, I'm not going to step through all that. Max ability count is 2, min ability count is 1. Okay, so the max ability count now, all abilities to randomize, dot count. Oh, this is only 1. Why is this 1? All abilities to randomize. Oh, and not preserved. Oh, I see. Maybe that's okay. This max ability count is becoming 1. This becomes 1 as well. I think I need to do this. Oops. First of all, this greater than or equals doesn't make any sense. This needs to be plus preserved abilities dot count. No, that's not right either. I don't know. I don't know how to make this work. What is so hard about this? I just don't understand. If the preserved ability count is greater than the max ability count, then we need to set that there. Okay. Hope the game is progressing well, and Merry almost Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well. Time to go make a better Path of Exile, yeah. Hi, what time is it in Ohio? It's 16:30 in France. It is 10:30 here. 10:30 in the morning. Welcome, Felsefe. Good to see you again. I was just thinking PoE just isn't there. It needs a little something. Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. That's an Ace Attorney reference. I'm not familiar with Ace Attorney. I'm sorry. This 0 to 1 is wrong, but let's see. Let's put a breakpoint there. Okay. Preserved abilities.count. Why is this 1? This should be 2. Preserved abilities.count. Yeah, that's wrong. Why is that? That should be 2. Maybe that's the problem. This preserved abilities.count is wrong. Now it's 2. Interesting. Now I have to figure out why that's not working. I'm going to do something a little bit easier here. The point is going to break. You have to be really desperate to use a breakpoint. Yeah. Unfortunately, let's break out the pen and just write some logic. I think this is just not working the way I expect it to. Preserved abilities count as 1. I should see 2 when I put this over here. Okay, so that's wrong. Preserved abilities that count as 1. Oh, it's just 1. Now it's 2. It's 0 now. What the heck? So this is just wrong. This preserved abilities.count is wrong. Why? Why is that wrong? I wonder if there's... Maybe there's like a race condition here. Update negative. So this on card placed here. Board inventory component card placed. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think there's a race condition here. Board state updated. Okay, I think... Yeah, so I think I actually need to change this. I think it's just a problem. There's a race condition here. I think that text is being updated. This on card placed here. This is being updated before the grid state is updated. And so that is causing it to be out of date. So I actually think I need to do grid state or grid changed here. And we're going to do on grid changed. And then on card placed. So that would make sense. We'll get rid of all this stuff, get rid of this. Okay, is that going to work? Let's see if that makes sense now. Print and breakpoints, we are there, boys. The bottom, yeah. Yes, indeed. Okay. Put this here. Put that there. Put that there. And it is not working. Okay. All right, so now we got to figure out why this isn't working. Oh, board state updated. Oh. I think I connected to the wrong signal. Oops. My bad. Let's do it again. We will get it. We will get it working. Cards will have 1 to 2 negative abilities. That's actually not true. 1 to 3 negative abilities. 1 to 2 to 2. 3 to 3. Okay, so this is actually correct. That's correct. That situation is not correct. This should have 1 ability. 1 negative ability, I think. Yeah. So now we got to figure out that situation. This is wrong too. This will not have any negative abilities. Okay. We're getting there. Is my preserved ability count correct now? Yeah, okay. So we're getting there now. Let's figure out why this situation is not working. Cards will have 1 to 2 negative abilities. That's not true. If preserved abilities dot count is greater than min ability count. Okay, we're gonna have to step through this again. Goodness gracious. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Also, don't eat elephants. Yep, that's true. I don't know, maybe elephants taste good. I guess you shouldn't eat them though. Okay. Preserved abilities dot count is 1. Max ability count is 2. Okay. Oh, maybe I don't want to do this here, because that's saying it's going to add 3 abilities. Yeah, maybe I don't think I need this anymore. So we're going to get rid of that. And then min ability count is 1. Yeah, we don't want to add. I don't think we need these statements anymore. I think we can get rid of those. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, so put this here, put that there. Cards will have 0 to 1 negative ability. That's not true. Cards will have 1 to 1 negative ability. Okay, so this situation is still wrong. Cards will have 0 to 1 negative ability. So this is where I need to account for the total alchemizable abilities. So var total available abilities is equal to all abilities to randomize.count plus preserved abilities.count. I think that's right. And then we say if max ability count is less than total ability count, we'll do that. And then I think I also need to do the same thing for the min. If min ability count is greater than total available ability count, we'll just do that. Okay. We're getting there. It's going to get there. That's still wrong. Why is that wrong? 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3. Okay, so all that's correct. It's just not correct in the first case now. All right, here we go. Okay, let's put a breakpoint here. Oh, that sucks. Oops. I don't have a way to test this now because this breakpoint gets hit. Oh wait, here we go. Okay, maybe that'll work. Total available ability count is 1, which is correct. Max ability count is 2. So that's going to be... Oh, did I do this wrong? This needs to be greater than. Yeah, I think I just did that wrong. Okay, here we go again. Here we go again. Okay, that's correct. And then this one should say 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3. Okay, so obviously I want to change that so it's not a range, but Now we got to test it with some other stuff. So let's get rid of the candle. We'll keep a newt tail in there. Let's also do, we're going to need to test with the honey here. We're also going to need to, let's just do like a mace and a skeleton warrior and incense. We'll try with those. So now we got to make sure that this works in the general case, because I was making it so that way it would work with that reagent type, but now we need to try this. So there's that. Cards will have 0 to 2 negative abilities. Yes, I think that's correct. Yeah, that's correct. If I do honey in here, cards will have 0 to 1 negative ability. Okay, I think that's working. If I do all this, let's just make sure there's not more than 1 negative ability. Okay, that didn't really help. That's all right. We're going to do this, this, this. Boom. Yeah, that worked. So this was supposed to have a negative ability on it, but the honey removed it. So that's good. All right. I think we're finally good with that. I'm sure there's some issues remaining, but that is finally done. So now what we need to do is change that tooltip, this alchemy container tooltip. What am I doing? Update negatives. Okay. Negative label.text, positive label text. Okay. I'm just going to do something a little bit hacky here. If negative label, or no, if min negative is equal to max negative, negative label.text is equal to negative label.text.replace. I'm just going to hack this together for now. Okay, we're just going to do a string replacement on that. Alchemy container. Oh, oops. Okay. Hello, Guy. What are the metrics you use on the monitors, like process time, FPS, to check for performance issues? I haven't done any of that in this game. So the answer is I don't check the performance metrics. I don't really think there's a reason to do that unless... I don't really have a reason to do that unless I'm noticing a performance problem. But with this game, it's like there's basically almost no opportunities for there to be performance issues in this game because there's not a whole lot going on. So yeah, the answer is I don't pay attention to that. But if I were to debug a performance issue, yeah, I mean, you would have to look at process time, FPS. I think that would be appropriate to check those things. And mostly you want to see where like the process time and the FPS are spiking. But you can also use, there are timing functions available in GDScript. So if you've got a particular like algorithm that you want to observe, what I will do is I will, like, there have been algorithms in this game, like the map generation, which used to take quite a long time. So what I would do is I would measure, you know, take a snapshot of the current system time before the algorithm runs, and then a snapshot of the current time after the algorithm is finished. And then you subtract those two values, you can see what the total run time is. And then when you have that metric being printed to the console or whatever, you can make your changes to the algorithm and observe if that number goes up or down. So that's how I was doing performance monitoring for this game, for the map generation. But in terms of like real-time performance, I'm not worried about that. But like the generation performance was something that I had to pay attention to. All right. Oh, negative label dot text. I'm gonna play this on my smartwatch. That's fair, yeah. Okay. Cards will have 1 negative ability, cards will have 2 negative abilities, and if I put this here, and I put this one here, 0 to 2. That one is not correct either, 0 to 2. Yeah, that's not correct. Goodness gracious, I don't want to keep doing this. Maybe I'll move on to something else, but there's still some issues here. So if I do this and this, and I put this here, this is saying it will have 0 to 2 negative abilities, but that's not true. There are 4 total abilities in the pool here. Oh, maybe that is right. Hold on. Maybe that is right. Because the mace could be generated with just the fire. Yeah, I think that is true, actually. I might actually see if I can keep redoing this until I get what I'm looking for. So the mace could have both of the fire abilities added to it from the candle. Although, no, that's not true, because the mace is either going to have 1 additional ability or minus 1 ability. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at that. So the mace got apply to fire and apply to fire. Okay. I think that's right. I think that tooltip is right. Now the question is that right functionally speaking? So that mace could have had its ability count reduced by 1, but then because it's got the guaranteed fire, those are the abilities that were added to it. I think that's right. I think that's right. I don't know. It seems right to me. Anyway. Okay, various alchemy changes. So there is one other change I need to make here, which is we need to figure out what to do with the legendaries now, because the legendaries... So right now what the legendary card does is it takes all of the abilities from the input and adds them to the card. I think that's a little bit much. What I can do for the legendary is I can guarantee... So a legendary card could have no negative alchemies on it, negative alchemy abilities, and can also have a guaranteed increase in the number of abilities that it has. So maybe that's what I'll do for the legendary, because right now it just adds all of the abilities to a legendary card. So if legendary in this case will just mean it's got the best tier of all the input cards, it's got the best turn cooldown of all the input cards, it has the best crit multipliers of all the input cards, and it's guaranteed to have 1 additional ability added to it, and no negative abilities. I think that's what I'll do for legendary, so yeah, let's do that. Do you think that making a poetic game with an artificial real language inspired by some branch of Indo-European languages and procedural animation for every interaction is a good idea for a first game project? I don't know what a poetic game is. And yeah, I don't know an artificial real language. I mean, I guess if you're like a linguist and you know generally how languages work, and creating an artificial real language would be relatively easy for you. then I could definitely see that being something that sets your game apart from everything else. Like, I could see that being marketable, right? Oh, this game has like a real language, a real made-up language. I don't know. Those are kind of contradictory, but that could definitely be a selling point for your game. Almost like you've got Klingon or something, or like a Lord of the Rings language kind of deal. But yeah, I don't know what a poetic game is. It's just like a click-based, or what is a point-and-click game? But yeah, I mean, what you've described is you've described the presentation of the game. You haven't really described what the mechanic of the game is. So, and I don't know I don't know what to say about whether it's a good idea or not, but it's certainly interesting. But I think you need to probably figure out what the actual mechanics of the game are. Every time I think about poetic games, I'm reminded about I get reminded about the pirate software drama. Good idea in a commercial sense, I mean. Also depends if you have experience doing procedural animation work. That would be pretty tricky to nail down, in my opinion. Yeah. Welcome back, Nick Lynn, by the way. Good to see you. Good to see you here. Yeah, it's hard to say whether that would be a good first game idea because it depends on what your current skill level is. If you don't have any experience making, like, if you're not a linguist, then I would say, no, that's a bad idea. But, don't let me tell you not to make a game that you think is cool. Merry Christmas Eve. Yeah, Merry Christmas Eve to you as well. All right, I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break, and when I come back, we're going to figure out what to do with these legendary cards. I think I have a good idea of what I want to do, so we'll just go ahead and do that, and hopefully it's not as difficult as getting this dang tooltip working. So I'll be right back in just 3 minutes, and we will continue on. All right, I'm back. I'm an English linguist about to extinguish the competition in a freestyle. Okay. I dream to make a language that would be a blend of ancient Germanic and some Uralian exotic inspirations. I'm a philosophy student. Well, yeah, I think, generally speaking, I think that if you have some kind of like niche skill set that you can translate or apply to a game idea, I think that can be very, very, very interesting. So yeah, I mean, I definitely think, like, what I will say about your ideas, I think that you have that would be a very strong hook, I think. But yeah, hard to say how it will go as a first game project. I personally made my first game on a game jam and I kind of liked it. It's a good way to challenge yourself or challenge your skill level and come up with new ideas depending on a theme. Yeah. I can't recommend game jams enough. You get to practice all kinds of skills when you do game jam games. Just from me participating in game jams, my game design skill got better as I participated in game jams. My art skill got better. My ability to cut scope and manage deadlines got better. It's just a really, really good exercise to practice a bunch of stuff. So yeah, definitely do game jams if you have the ability to do so. All right, let's do... So this legendary is legendary, max output tier. So we've got this is legendary here. This all abilities to randomize.count. So let's see. Card to new ability count. Let's do... So card to new ability count. So card to new ability count. This will be... I think I need a new dictionary for this. I think I need a new dictionary. This should be card to original ability count. So I know... Wait a minute. Yeah, I think I just need a new dictionary here. Private, read-only, dictionary, base card, int, card to original, ability count. So what I'm going to do here... The dog is running around doing stuff. What goes on in the minds of those creatures? Anyway, so card to original ability count. Card to original ability count. Non-reagent input card is equal to ability count. Okay, so now in here, when we decide what the ability count is, we're going to have to do this. If is legendary, alchemized ability count is equal to card to original ability count, where we're going to... We're going to do dot max value. Okay. So what that's going to do is essentially if a card is made legendary, so like let's say we got a skeleton that gets made legendary, what it's going to do is it's going to find out what the original ability count of that skeleton was, and then it's going to add 1 to it. So it's going to guaranteed increase the ability count. Now the reason why I have to do this, where card definition resource ID equals random card ID dot max, is because let's say I have 2 skeletons in the board, and one skeleton has 3 abilities and the other skeleton has 2 abilities. obviously what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to take the highest count ability and add 1 to that. So in the case that there's 2 cards in the inputs with the same ID, I'll just take whatever one's bigger. So that should work. Okay. So that solves that part. Abilities to take. So this one is wrong. This abilities to take, we can actually just rename this to abilities to take here, and we'll get rid of this. And I'm going to move this preserved abilities.count. Let's move this up here. Oh, but we need the preserved abilities too. Oh, shoot. Okay, so I changed how the preserved abilities works. Abilities to take. How is this going to work with the preserved abilities? So I have alchemical reagents that will guarantee certain ability outputs. Also I have these guaranteed added abilities. I don't think that works either. Guaranteed legendary outputs. What is this? Oh, that's the count. Possible. Now, wait a minute. Alchemy added ability. Adds the following ability as a guaranteed alchemy output. Did I break this? Does this not work anymore? Okay. Well, we've got a number of things to figure out here. No, alchemy... Oh, reagent added abilities. Shoot. I need to factor this in, too. Son of a brisket. Alright. This system is way too complex. I might need to just do a rewrite of this to make it more sensible. So now we have a problem. So is legendary, we're going to take a certain number of abilities. However, we need to prioritize the guaranteed abilities and the reagent added abilities first. So, son of a biscuit. This is, so this abilities to take, we're going to say abilities to take is equal to mathf.max. This is going to be preserved abilities.count plus reagent added abilities.count abilities to take. So in this case, if we're a legendary card, we're going to add up the number of preserved abilities and the number of reagent added abilities. If that number is greater than the abilities we've decided to take, then we're just going to take that number. Now, wait a minute. Abilities. Abilities taken, preserved abilities.count. Oh, wait. Did I do this math wrong? Actually, this should be mathf. Actually, we could do I think we can do this for all cases. Okay. Abilities taken, preserved abilities dot count plus positive abilities to add. So this needs to be plus reagent added abilities dot count. Okay, I think that will work. Reagent added abilities. Why is that at the bottom? We're gonna have to try that out. Let's do this. Project settings. Flint. Flint. I like brisket. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be a nightmare. Okay, let's see if that all works. Okay, so alchemy, let's do candle, flint, flint again. Cards will have one negative ability. Is that true? I think this is broken again. All right, well, I might need to spend this afternoon rewriting all this. Because this is completely and utterly unwieldy. All of these only got one ability. Interesting. Anyway, what we're trying to do is we're trying to do the legendary right now, but I just want to see if this works. Okay. Okay, so hello, Snupbill. Thank you for the IDR 10,000. Very much appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have the message Yummers. Very much appreciate that. Thank you. And welcome back to the stream. So legendary outputs remaining. Oh, right. I can just use the lead ingot to guarantee this. Let's see. Yummers, yes. Okay. Well, let's see what happens. So if I do the Morning Star and I do the candle and I do another candle and I do a legendary, what I should get, if the Morning Star is legendary, it should have 3 abilities. There we go. Yeah, it has the 3 abilities, and it's also got the best turn count and the best crit chance. So I think that's right. What did I want to try specifically? I think what I wanted to try specifically is if I do a legendary alchemy, but then I do a bunch of guaranteed inputs like so, this should end up getting 4 abilities, I think. No. It will end up getting 3 abilities for sure. Yeah, 3 abilities. So what is the case that I'm trying to test? I think the case what I'm trying to test is if I have the Morning Star here and I put a bunch of flint in here and then I put a candle with the newt tail. So that's 3 abilities that we're going to guarantee. Actually, let's just do another candle. So this one, this ability needs to be in there, this ability needs to be in there, this ability needs to be in there, and that ability needs to be in there. So the Morning Star will end up with 4 abilities if it ends up being legendized. Or we get a candle, which has all of them. So I think, yeah, that's what I'm trying to test. So let's do that. Got the candle again. I gotta set up a better way to test this, but for now, this is what we're rolling with. I'm definitely going to rewrite this because I think my code, now that I've changed a lot about how the alchemy works, I think the code can be dramatically simplified. I think. We'll have to figure that out, I suppose. Guess I'm just not going to get a mace again. Now this is a sign to get a McDonald's if I've ever seen one. Yeah. Gosh, dang it. I'm not getting the mace. All right. I think it's working the way it's supposed to, but I would like to see it work. Aye. There we go. Yeah, so the mace now, if the mace was going to be a normal legendary, it would have had only 3 abilities. But because the number of guaranteed abilities was greater than the number of abilities it should have gotten as a legendary, that number took precedence. So I put a bunch of stuff into the alchemy that guaranteed that all of these fire abilities would be on the output. And so that's what happened. So that's what I was trying to test. So that's good. And then there's no negative abilities on the legendary output. Okay, I think that works. Okay. Sent animation practice yesterday. What did you think of it? It was really good. Very good. Thank you for sharing that. Lurking Neozoid. Dramatically simplified, shows a 10,000 line alchemy controller. Well, it's dramatically simplified in terms of how it works logically. I need to do the actual code simplification this afternoon. I think that's what I'll do. Also, it's not 10,000 lines, it's 530. Anyway. I think I fixed those. I think I fixed the legendary. So in terms of simplification, I think... It made it the sidebar mini-map thing, made it look like 10,000 lines. I think that's good for the legendary. Do I still have a problem with the tooltip? I think I do. I think there's still a problem with the tooltip here. So, okay. Let me just check this. Yeah, 0 to 1 negative ability. So that is not... I don't think that's correct. It should always be 1. Oh, maybe that is right. Hold on a second. Let me just try doing that combo a bunch of times. It's always adding 2 fire. Is that the way it's supposed to work? So the candle... Oh yeah, no, that is the way it's supposed to work. So why is it saying 0 to 1 negative ability? So so when the alchemy system happens, the outputs will have a chance to have their total number of abilities reduced by 1, or total number of abilities increased by 1. In the case of the candle, it only has 1 ability, and it can't go below 0. So the candle is guaranteed to have at least 1 ability as the output, and then on top of that, it has a guaranteed added apply to fire. So this tooltip is wrong because it thinks, for some reason, that this guaranteed ability won't be there, but there is no situation in which that combination... Oh, now it's going to make a liar out of me. Now I got 3 candles that all have 1 apply fire. What the heck? Why is that happening? Oh no, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Because if the output decides to reduce an ability and it would go below 1, it just floors it to 1. And then it takes the 1 guaranteed ability and applies it. Okay, I think that's right. I'm just like confusing myself. I think this is okay. I guess if it's confusing for me, it's going to be... Sorry, I gotta answer this message here. All right, I think that's working. That's the way that's the standard at Firebelly Games here. We just say, I think it's working, and we call it good. Cool. Alrighty, that seems to be working. Okay, so change how legendary alchemy outputs work. Okay, so I think that is all good. Is there anything else to do for the alchemy system here? I think let's just give it a playtest and see what happens. Go ahead and playtest the game. Alrighty, so I got my 2 skeletons. I'm actually curious, what happens if I just alchemize these together? Yeah, skeleton warrior with 2 damage. Nice, okay. Let's go to the booster here. Grab this. Snail cat. Oh, wyvern hatchling. Let's sell that. Increase enemy's current status stacks by 2 for each allied alchemical card. Turn cooldown is reduced by 5 if this card is on the left edge of the board. So maybe we'll hold on to that. I'm going to put the wyvern there. Oh, I suppose I could have just spent... I spent too much money there. That's alright. That's alright. Okay, let's go ahead and try this out. Turn up the speed. Cool. Why was the Sage healing? What does Sage do again? Heal for each time the opponent applied poison since last execution. Uh-oh. I think that's broken. Why was the Sage healing 8? I wasn't applying any poison. That Sage should not have been healing. Uh-oh. Well, let's copy this seed here. I will fix that in a second. Why was the Sage healing? Uh-oh, that's not good. Ability type tracker provider. Oh goodness, just bugs on bugs, I guess. I don't know. Well, anyway, let's just continue on with the playtest. Little playthrough here. Horse dung. Let's fight some horse dung. This, I need to make some changes to the board generation algorithm as well. Oops. So let me just mark that down. So, Sage is healing when no poison is applied. That's a bug. And then also, we need to ensure generated boards have some damage. Enemy generated boards have some damage. Okay. The to-do list is supposed to be shrinking, but instead it's growing. Hello, Jackie Daytona. Welcome back. Good to see you. Increases critical chance by 10%. Let's do that. Okay. Wench, villager, field mouse. Here we go. Here's some sage. I want to see what happens here. Oh, did I misread it? Was the sage healing 0 and it was just being logged for some reason? Why is that being logged? It shouldn't be applying any healing if it's got a 0 magnitude. So maybe it wasn't healing. Okay, we will figure that out. Field mouse, chicken, field mouse, field mouse. Let's go fight some field mices. Are there any special event nodes in the game, like maybe a ritual node that allows you to evolve a special card? Thought of it when you go to a small wyvern, maybe it could be evolved into an adult one. There's no like evolution card. Like I would have to do sort of like an evolution pathway for basically every card in order to make that event work. However, I do have an idea for an event type that I want to do, which is to basically just like increase the tier of a card by like 4 at once. So the card upgrade node increases the tier of a card by 1, but it would be nice to have like a sort of special event that maybe just like purifies the card and upgrades it. So I could imagine like you put the card on the upgrade board or whatever, and it removes all of the negative alchemy abilities. It increases the tier by like 4 at once, something like that. Or maybe it makes it legendary in some way. I don't know. Something like that. I think it would be really fun to just be able to like take a card and just buff it massively all at once. So I definitely want to do something like that. But for like a card evolution mechanic, I would have to support every card, you know? And that is just not in scope. But welcome back to the stream, by the way. The Sky one transforms one nearby node into an artifact node. All nearby artifact nodes will allow you to choose an additional artifact. I haven't really made use of artifacts much. I think I need to revisit some of the artifacts as well, because they're not super powerful or they're not super game-changing, which is not what I want. Gain 3 additional blood after every combat. Visiting cleared nodes incurs no notoriety penalty. Let's do these two. Okay. We'll go up here. Oof. Okay. I guess I died. We'll get rid of the grimoire. Okay. And we'll go here. I'm going to use my money and increase my health by a lot, actually. We'll go down this way. We'll grab the reagent. There's a shop down there as well, but I just spent a bunch of money, so maybe that's not good. Ooh. So I'm starting to lose these combats, which means that I should probably make use of the alchemy system here and see if I can make something good. Apply 5 poison, apply 5 poison to self, heal 1 per poison damage taken. Oh, that should say... Okay. Cool. All right. Heart of Stovak and this together. Let's do it. What did I get? Apply 5 poison, heal 1 per poison damage taken. Oh. Oh, that would work. Let's do the Plague Mask. So that's just healing, but that's okay. Let's put that here. I don't know if that's going to work, but we're going to try it. I don't think all cards need to have evolutions, just like special monsters like the Wyvern and a couple more. Yeah, so if I want to do an evolution for that, I kind of already have a pattern for that, which is the Hellspawn Egg. So the Hellspawn Egg just quote-unquote evolves after you beat a certain number of combats. So if I was going to do more cards that have that kind of evolution mechanic, I would just make them like evolve in place, you know what I mean? Like there would just be some condition that once you satisfy it, the card changes. I wouldn't make it an event on the map because it would be too niche. Like all of the events on the map should be useful all the time. Or at least not like super niche, if that makes sense. Spider Egg, all alchemical cards gain 2 heal. Interesting. Apply 7 preserve. Do I want any of these things? I actually don't think I want any of these things. I visited the shop without any money. Classic. Let's do... I want to do the Wyvern here. Wyvern with some gold and see what happens. Okay, that didn't do anything. Cool. I think maybe the gold is bugged. I need to revisit that as well. I think I can make it to this booster here. That's fair. Yeah, I mean, I think... I just don't want things to be too niche. Converts all preserve applied to fire. We'll hold on to that for a second. Go to the obelisk here. Booster nodes, enchant nodes, shop node. I kind of want the boosters. Okay. Well, I do have the artifact that makes it so that I don't incur a notoriety penalty from visiting cleared nodes. So we'll swing down here and we'll grab these. Ooh, preserve card. 11 preserve. So if I do, let's see. We can sell that. Apply, deal 8 true damage. Maybe I'll hold on to the pitchfork for a while. Get rid of this. I think what I can do is I can grab this guy and put this here. Converts all preserve applied to fire. Yeah, there we go. Then we gotta fit this guy onto the board here. Oh, goodbye, Death Orchid. I have to sell you. I'm sorry. Unlock the board. Put that guy there. That's going to give me some more damage output. Okay, let's go here now. You visiting shops without money is like me IRL when I go into a shop, yeah. Ooh, we're doing fire build, I guess. Apply 8 fire. Projects 2 ritual and relic cards to the right. Apply 1 holy. I guess we'll hold on to that for a second. No reason not to. There's another booster there. I need money though. Let's see. Go this way. Heal, poison, preserve, relic, weapon, and minion cards. Might as well visit this shop here, or this upgrade. Just upgrade the skeleton warrior, I suppose. Ooh, a bishop. Got a heal there. Apply 0 poison. Poison applied grows. Another jellyfish. We'll get rid of that. Alright, it's boss fight time. I think what I want to do is... I'm not really going to make good use of this pitchfork, so I'm going to sell that. And then... I could make... I don't have enough money to unlock some more board space here. So I think what I'll do instead is I'll just go ahead and unlock this and put this extra healing there. I'm not entirely sure if this is going to go well for me, but we'll see. Okay, actually, I think I'm outlasting this pretty good. I'm going to turn the speed up here. Oof. I don't have enough damage on my board, I don't think. Wow, I got destroyed. Okay, let's see if we can recover this. Can we recover this? I need to resurrect first, so let's do that. Let's sell this. Sell. Let's alchemize this wyvern hatchling with this phylactery. Let's do both wyvern hatchlings there. Not enough blood. We'll sell the crozier. Let's alchemize those things together. Apply 9 fire, 9 fire. Okay, cool. Well, that didn't help me very much. Got more fire damage, I suppose. I was hoping to get that poison ability on it, though. Because the plague mask is doing poison, but... oh well, let's see what happens. I'm gonna lose. Wow, I'm not even close. Interesting. Okay, I guess my build was kind of garbage. Yeah, I mean, if I'm looking at... I don't really have a whole lot of synergies going on here. Basically just applying a bunch of fire damage. So yeah, I got destroyed. That's all right. That's okay. All right, well, this Nautilus cup is done. Plague, mask, text. Okay. I'm happy with the alchemy changes, though. I definitely think that the alchemy adjustments are good. So I'm going to keep those. And I am going to merge that into my master branch because I do like it. I'm going to close Godot. Master. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, that's going to be it for the stream today. Merry Christmas Eve to everybody, and I hope you have a good Christmas tomorrow as well. I will not be streaming tomorrow because it's Christmas, but I will be back on Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, so I hope to see you there. And again, if you're interested, you can check out Alchemortis on Steam. Definitely consider wishlisting it if it looks interesting to you. And also, you could check out the other links in the description below. You can join the Discord, that's linked there. I've got my Udemy courses linked as well. So definitely check out all those things if you want to support my work. And I appreciate it. Have a good holiday, everybody. And I will see you on Friday. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.